Hermes, he god, who can go in and out of the ground, he god, still wary to keep power with the fathers. Now I have need of you, back home from long exile. This is the grave mound of Agamemnon, my father. Help my cries through the ground to his ghost. I lop off one lock and so move into manhood. And this one for your mound is a mark of my mourning. Your son and heir wasn't here to salute you. No final farewell as the earth was flung over. Look there. What's that? That procession of women wending this way, all dressed in drab dirge clothes. What's it in aid of? More doom, more disaster. They're carrying jars full of libations. I suppose that they're sops for my father's sore spirit. It must be. There, among all the mourners, is my she-king, Electra, wasted by weeping. Zeus, high he-god, help it to happen. The vengeance I want to take for my father. Pylades, you and I stand aside, keep out of eyeshot, till we're sure of the meaning of the rites we're to witness.
Coerced into keening by Queen Clytemnestra for King Agamemnon,
as if for our bloodkin,
we carry these ghost sops out to his grave mound.
Flash out to lament the lost lord of Argon.
We Trojans trench flesh ruts into our faces.
There's no need to coerce us, we cry anyway.
Our lives have been one long meal of mourning,
one lifelong banquet,
one blowout of bale.
We claw our clothes open,
mad in our mourning.
Our ripped, half-wrapped shriek as we shred them.
This blood-cleansed doomed demon, disguised as a dream, crashed through into Clytemnestra's calm midnight,
and squeezed from the queen's throat a throttling shriek, a cry that re-echoed through each recess and corner,
and pounded for entry to the coops that we're penned in.
The whole household heard it.
Our hair stood on end.
Then spoke a clan seer whose knowledge was nightmare.
The bitter dead below bellow for blood due.
So Godsop she sent,
empty gifts and libations,
meant to ward off what gnaws her at night time.
Sends me out here as soon as the dawn breaks.
That woman hated and loathed by the he-god.
The great charm she wants get choked in my gullet.
What Godsop or bribe makes spilt blood unspilt? Shed blood, shed forever.
The dead, stay dead.
This blood clan, this house, what hasn't it suffered?
Mirth, man-shunned and sunless, smothers the blood clan. When the clan chief,
its life,
is stifled by death,
death down,
mouldering under his grave mound.
He counted for something.
The king of this blood clan,
battle-proof power, both strife-proof and plot-proof.
The lips of his people respected that power.
Their hearts honored their hero and helmsman.
Now all honors usurped by terror, the tyrant.
Success gets sucked up to. The god is good lifelong.
All grovel to that as to godhead or greater.
but to those who loll in the luck of their lifelong. The justice of blood rights, the bolt from the black, some netted at noontide, others at nighttime, daylight or darkness, both nourish their doom. When the earth's gullet's choked on the gore it has gulped, the blood glut clots rock-like and can't reach earth's gut. Guilt in the guilty likewise stays clotted. The cankers of guilt craze the culprit and kill him. The blood of the killed, the bed blood of virgins, those dooms we endured in the downfall of Troy, is borne by the guilty like gauntlets of gore.
All the world's waters forced through one funnel and sprayed at the blood spot as much good as little.
Necessity!
That brought us to where we are now.
Hauled from our homeland, dragged here as drudges, lugged into a life lot unloving and loathly, brought into bondage.
Doom's dragnet round Troy.
We fight hard on the horsebit, gulp down our gall,
And go through these grief shows as she commanded.
But our grief is no shamming,
The tears shed are true.
mourning our helplessness under harsh masters.
Our massacred menfolk, the mass graves of Troy. Women, Troy's war spoils, now palace work slaves, whose work gives the palace its appearance of order. Since you've been sent to attend me, give me advice. What graveside grace goes best with these grave cups? What address would my father find even decent? To the man from the woman, to the love from the loving. Call Clytemnestra, my mother, a woman who loves? I don't have the nerve, the effrontery for that. What to say as I pour honey, then milk, wine, and then water? What's usually intoned here is useless, insulting. To those who send grave gifts, send the good they deserve. The good they deserve, the same fate as my father's, no words, but a silence, the way he was slaughtered, pouring the grief cups as if they were slop pails. Friends, serf-women, freeborn, both fettered to fate, shackled to shame, we share the same hatred. Between us there need be no sort of secret.
I swear by the cairn that keeps the king's dust, I speak all my secrets, and you have my trust.
Speak then. I swear the same oath you all swore.
For those you can trust, pray as you pour.
Those I can trust, who near me still true.
Yourself, those who hate Aegisthus are too.
Then myself, and you, do you count on my side? Judge only my words, then you can decide. Who else can be counted? Consider and say.
Orestes.
Orestes, though still far away.
Orestes, Orestes. The best thing to say.
For those you can't trust, the killers, pray.
Pray what? Tell me, I'm eager to learn.
Pray that a man or a god will return.
Return to reckon the guilt of those two?
No, kill them, that's all. Blood for blood. That'll do.
Demand gods to deal death. Is that right or good?
Right and good, right and good. Blood demands blood.
God guide and ground God, God go between herald, linking upper and nether, the dead and the living. Hermes, he God, help me, and get them to hear me, the spirits I pray to that prosper this palace, and get her to hear me, the greatest of she-gods, Earth, who pushes all beings out of her belly, suckles her creatures, and swells with their corpses. Get her to listen. I pour the libation, and pray to my Father. Pity for me, for Orestes. This blood clan's benighted, and he's its bright beacon.
We're both dispossessed, deprived of our blood right. She bartered her bairns and bought as her bedmate Aegisthus, who shares in the guilt of your killing. Electra's a bondslave, and Orestes an exile. Clytemnestra and Aegisthus, basking and idle, loll in the luxury made by your labours. I pray Orestes returns with luck in his life lot, and my life lot unsullied, not marred like my mother's, heart and hands blameless, unblemished by blood. These prayers on our part, and for them we oppose. I pray the blood grudge fulfiller will soon be appearing. The butchers be butchered, and pay blood for blood. Agamemnon, come up at the head of the ground gods. Agamemnon, come up with Earth, the great she-god. Bring blessings and blood right, blazoned with laurels. These are my prayers, and I pour your libation. You water the seed of my prayer with your wailing. As I pour, deliver the dead a due grave dirge. Drop on your dark head, drop by drop, the way you bled your grave home, bad and good. What we beg is blood for blood. Agamemnon, minding mirth, here are words, make them work.
Blood grudge fulfiller, come, kill the killer, big bow, bent back, sword, in, slash, hack.
Gulped by Gaia, the drinks have got through to my father. But here's something new. Fear makes my heart jig.
What have you found?
A lock of hair has been laid on the mound.
A man's or a woman's. Who put it there?
It looks like a bloodkin's, this lock of fine hair.
A bloodkin's? I don't understand. Don't leave me to guess.
It's mine or it's no one's. This mystery trash.
Your mother, the murderer, she wouldn't dare.
Yet I've a feeling I know it, this hair.
Whose is it then? If you say it seems no.
Whose I don't know, but it's so like my own.
Orestes! Orestes has sent us this secret sign.
It can only be his hair, if it's not mine.
Orestes in Argos. Too risky, if that's what you meant.
No, for the sake of his father, he had the lock sent. Only sent? The more cause to weep for him then. Orestes will never see Argos again. A surge of choler and grudge sweeps over my spirit, spitted on pain like a stab wound or spear thrust. Drops like the spindrift spat off a sea swell break from my eyes at the sight of this curl. Who else from Argos would this lock belong to? Never hers, the murderess, my mother. My mother, she stifled and smothered all motherly feelings. How can I know it's Orestes for certain? Only hope makes us so foolish and stupid. If this hair had a voice and was sent as a herald, then I wouldn't waver or be so distracted, and I would know by its clear-spoken message that either it came from a head I detested, or was the bloodkin's I longed to believe it, a grace to my grief, a grace to this grave mound. The gods I've invoked, though wise to what sea swells, we're whirled on, like sailors in shipwreck. If we were meant to, then straight home we will. A great oak can sprout from the tiniest acorn. I call on these gods for my prayers to be answered.
They're answered, those prayers. The gods favor you. Now, pray that our future is fortunate, too.
Our future? Prayers answered? What do you mean?
You prayed to see something. Now you have seen.
How do you know what it was that I prayed?
For your much-loved Orestes to come to your aid.
Then how can you say that the gods favor me?
You've got what you prayed for. Look! I am he.
Stranger, you're weaving some net or some snare.
If you are entangled, I am also trapped there.
You mock my misfortune, make it a game?
I mock my own then. My misfortune the same.
Orestes, Orestes. Is that really your name?
You look at me and still can't recognize your bloodkin, your brother, before your eyes. Yet when you looked at the lock I had laid, you gasped as if gazing straight into my face. Look, that's where I locked it from. Match it with mine. Look how alike of akin the two locks are. Look at this weaving your fingers once fashioned. The stroke of your baton, the patterns of beasts. Easy. Still. Keep all emotion masked within. Our nearest and dearest would like us destroyed.
Beloved, the beacon of this blacked-out blood clan, the seed of deliverance watered by weeping, the love of four bloodkin belongs to you only, loathed mother, lost father, sacrificed sister, and brother, the bloodkin I truly believe in. Brute force and blood right, and Zeus, the high he-god, be your protectors in pursuing our blood grudge.
Zeus, high he-god, steel us to the struggle. Fledglings, left fatherless when the great eagle got snarled in the shuffling coils of the she-snake. Fatherless fledglings, famished orphans, too feeble to carry the quarry off back to the eyrie. Fledglings and fatherless, Orestes, Electra, both outcasts alike and blocked from their blood right. Eagle Agamemnon gave the he-gods a gift glut. The godstones of Argos bubbled with blood flow. Cut down his egrets. Your guts will go goatless. With the bowl of the blood clan blasted, no bull's gore will gurgle down godstones on sacrifice days. So nourish the nestlings. Build up the blood clan, though now it looks much too low to be lifted.
Quiet! If you want your blood clan rebuilding, the whole space of Argos whispers with spies.
It only needs one to report to our rulers. One day, very soon, I hope we'll be watching their flesh spit through flames and bubbling pits.
Apollo stays close till all gets accomplished. His oracle told me to push through our blood grudge. And if I flinched from fulfilling the blood grudge by killing those guilty of killing our father, he warned me my heart's blood would harden and freeze. By not taking their lives, my own would be taken. But not before tasting great torture and torments. He detailed diseases, malignant malaises. The unappeased dead demand as appeasement skin canker, skin scabs, flaying the flesh raw, crusted with fungus, sprouting white bristles. The perpetual prowling of the black pack of furies, whose dark nightly salt licks the blood of my father. Darts from deep darkness, shafts shot from below for the killing of bloodkin who bay for their blood grudge. Frenzy and mania, phantoms at midnight, venomous shadows that slink into his sleep time. He blinks, rubs his eyes. They're still at his bedside, harried and hounded out of his homeland, a palsied pariah, scarred over by scourges, flayed by brass flail rods, a leprosy carcass. Such scapegoat shared in no wine bowl libations. No one spares him bed, bread, or broth bowl. All godstones are barred him and gobbled alive by buboes and flesh blight. He perishes friendless. When that god says do it, no one says no. Without any god-goad, I've still got my grudges. Still got my grief for Agamemnon, my father. Dispossessed, I need no spurs to my spirit. And those men of Argos, whose glory is greatest, who brave long war boldly and battered down Troy, now sheepish and slave-like, to a woman and she-man who queens it beside the real clan chief, his consort. This weapon I wield will unmask the woman.
She gods of light lot. Zeus, mighty god. Only gods can stop the rot, Dracula out of bag. Blood flow for blood flow. Death flow for death flow. Blood debt for blood debt.
Keeping the blades wet.
Bloodshed for bloodshed.
Keeping the blades red.
What you do gets done back.
You, him, you. Hack slash.
Slash hack.
3 generations through.
She gods of light lot. Zeus, mighty god.
Father, doused in doom, kept immovable by death, what can grope through your grave gloom, unbreachable by light or breath? What words can worm their way through the sour soil of sorrow? What beacon of bright day burrow your dark barrow? From all the blood clan's grave rites they barred and blocked your bones, never budging, held by night's death, heavy anchor stones.
The gnashing jaws of fire,
No.
Only the corpse's rotten flesh.
Flesh.
Its blood grudge goes on craving
Gore.
gore and doesn't crumble into ash. When Black King Keen, the killer, feels their dirges haunt him like
Halloos.
The hounds of grief bay at his heels, the dead demanding their
Blood
blood
dues.
The Blood King's dirge is a keening net,
Net.
its troubles trawl for
Guilt.
Mourning spent its master get, guilt netted, gaffed and
Killed.
Now it's Electra, your she-child, who mourns and beats her breast. The wailing comes out rushed and wild, long cooped up and repressed. Now listen to your she-child's dirge. He-child, she-child, both in turn, both exiles, outcasts, urge your spirit from its urn. Bout 1, bout 2, we lost to fate. The same fate that threw you. Unless your spirit lends its weight, bout 3 will be lost too.
Gods can make a great dirge glad.
Gods can make a great dirge glad. Spreading boom across the back.
Instead of dirges, we might sing. Welcome home, new clan chief king!
I wish that you had lost your life to a Trojan in the war, not netted by a treacherous wife, your backdrop grimed with gore. Then heroes' honor you'd bequeath. We could have borne it if your bones were still in Asia and beneath the tomb of towering stones.
A hero in a hero's grave.
A tomb cairn like a tower, the comfort of the clan chief's state,
Still wielding its own power.
A monument.
a glorious mound, dignity, no shame.
Agamemnon,
Underground
with still unblemished name.
No heroes cairn, not killed, not dead, no mass grave by Scamander. I want fate standing on its head, the goose hacked by the gander. As your killers hacked you, hack! Hack on your killers first! I want time to be turned back. My father's fate reversed!
You, hack, slash, hack!
North of the North Wind lives a clan spared the mortal lot of man. But this is south, a man cannot turn back the tide of his life lot. Gold comes cheaper than new blood, but you are young and dream of good. When you two throw your palms together, the pulse gets passed down to your father.
If those with blood guilt beat the ground, their gloves of blood will dull the sound. But the dead respond to you, the guiltless tone of your tattoo. Underground, the dead decide. I've got them inside, on your side.
good. Zeus, it's been asleep. Drag it up from his earthen bed, the blood bomb that I've to keep to strike my mother dead!
Aegisthus, Clytemnestra, killed! I'll shout a joyful shout!
My heart's been bursting ages.
Filled with all the hate I now let out!
Zeus, your great steel fists, 1, 2, crush their skulls with all your might. Our country needs new trust in you. Blood wrong to yield a new blood right. The more, when blood gets spilled, there's no rest till the killer's killed. Blood flow for blood flow, the doom song goes, blood shrieks for the fury as it flows. The fury forges the long blood chain. The slain that link the slain, that link the slain, that link the slain.
Grudges of the dead below, look, we're the dregs of a royal race, the blood clan of Atreus, brought so low! Zeus, which way leads us from disgrace?
My heart sticks up, my heart goes black.
It darkens if you weaken.
But when I see your strength comes back, hope blazes like a beacon. Our strength has been survived the trials, the one who bore us brought us. I'll bear my wolf fangs when she smiles, wolf mothers breed wolf daughters.
As the Persian wolf was found, a dervish like a delirium.
Till the skull's blood pulses sound like a battered battle drum. Wolf mother murdering your man. Agamemnon got no brayside lamentation from his clan. Dumped in a ditch, you duck dry-eyed.
A ditch! The wolf is stuck his shame. I'll hack my mother down to save Agamemnon but my name. Then gladly go to my own grave. To stop his blood grudge in its tracks, she hacked those cocked his hands and feet. Cleavered the king with her man-axe and jointed him like butcher's meat.
And I imprisoned in a poky pen, cooped and kennelled like a rabid cur. Let all the grief I poured out then become the rage you pour on her.
Yesterday's fire, the rage you feel.
2 bounds are lost.
Bound speed depends upon your fire and speed.
Hot heart 2 heads to win bout 3.
Be in my corner. Help me win.
Father, all my tears say fight.
All as one cry. Back your blood kin. Into the light.
Bloodbite versus bloodbite, ours or theirs.
God make it ours, the just the cause.
It's skull by skull to know your prayers unlock doom among our doors. This clan's got fluid in its veins, its blood-struck lyres cacophonous.
The scorched strum, the death-like strain, its wounds don't scab, they spurt out pus.
The only way such sores get better is keep the cure within the clan. The clan's its own leech, own blood letter, its predicaments, man, murder, man. Blood gods down below, it's you, all our prayers are going to.
But Agamemnon's child blood kin and will with God wills that they win.
Come up!
You, the great clan chief, were killed like a cur. I pray for your help to be lord of your blood clan.
Come up!
I pray for escape from the bondage I've suffered, but not before shedding the blood of Aegisthus.
Come up!
Then only then, in accord with clan custom, can a fitting funeral be offered with feasting.
Come up!
For when fat and gore on the sacrifice crackle, Agamemnon alone gets no goats to his glory.
Come up!
And from what you bequeath me, your burial barrow will be overflowing with bridal libations. On the day that I marry, your mound will mean most.
She-god, let my father back me.
Faster, she ground god. Grant victory.
Remember the backdrop where you were struck dead?
Remember the net thing cast over your head?
In silk stuff, not steelware, you spewed out your blood.
Humbled and hacked down under a hood?
Don't taunts such as these torment you down there?
Shove your head through the earth to show us you care.
Blood ripe. I want it to back me. in the bout that's to be. I want the headlock on them that they got on you, flatten them to the floor as they flatten you. They out-wrestle you, but I'll best them this bout.
This last and no more. Eagle Agamemnon, your egrets call you from your grave eyrie, fledglings and fatherless, he-child and she-child.
Don't let the seed of Pelops perish forever. Death, no death, when the blood-kinder flourish. Blood-kinder! Cork floats that keep the net buoyant. When the flax strings get sodden, they keep it from sinking. For the sake of your spirit, we've spent this time pleading. Grant us your grace and your ghosts, the first gainer.
Since his grave has been given no clan lamentation, the length of your mourning was right and becoming.
Now you've gorged on your grave dirge. Go into action.
Find out where fate and your lifelock will lead you.
So I will. But before I do battle, I want to be told why she sent out this crowd of you carrying cups. Libations so late for a crime past all curing. Neither the honey, the milk, the wine or the water have savour or solace for skulls without senses. What you pour may be precious, but paltry as godsops. The grave gift so meagre, the crime so immense. A man can daub tombs with all his hives' honey, swill all his wine stores over the stones, empty his flocks and herds others daily, waste all his water and still smell of murder. So what do they mean, Clytemnestra's libations?
I know what they mean. Clytemnestra had nightmares.
Shaken by shadows that slunk into her sleep time.
Now, though she's godless, she sends gifts to his gravestone.
Is there more to the dream you can tell me about?
She opened her legs and a serpent crawled out.
Tell me the rest if you know how it goes.
She swathed her snake baby in swaddling clothes.
This baby, this snake thing, how did she feed it?
She says that it sucked at her very own tit.
And did it not pain her to give a snake suck?
Blood clots came out with each mouthful it took.
No dream, mother. Here's your snake baby. Look. She shrieked out in her sleep and woke with a start. All the Tao's torchlights, made eyeless for nighttime, blazed out of their blindness to comfort the queen.
At dawn she dispatched us with the dead man's libations to lance the past-bloated boil of her sorrow.
Then, by the earth and the grave of my father, I pray I'm this vision's fleshly fulfiller. The snake came out of the same womb as I did, swathed in the same swaddling clothes as myself, sucked at the same breast I sucked as a baby, got blood clots mixed in, as it sucked the milk out, so that she who gave suck screamed out in a panic. Same womb, same swaddling clothes, same breast to suck on, blood and milk. All point to me and to murder. The sun in the snake scales sent as her slayer.
My reason tells me that you read the dream rightly.
Now, give your instructions to those on your side.
Who should work with you? Who should be watchers? Simple. My sister must stay in the palace, keeping the bomb struck between us a secret. By cunning they killed, by cunning they'll die, caught in the same net they caught Agamemnon. Apollo commands it, and Apollo's a prophet whose habit has never been falsehood before. I, like a stranger with backpack and bundles, will come in this guise to the gates of the courtyard, with Pylades here, son of Strophius of Phocus, bound to our blood clan by hand clasp and spear bond. Will both of us speak like they do in Parnassus, assuming the accent of the folk back in focus? If the gateman's ungracious and treats us with gruffness on the grounds that this house is afflicted by fate, we'll stay so that passers-by stop and start saying Aegisthus goes against all God-ordained guest right by keeping these wanderers waiting unwelcomed. But once past the gate lodge and into the palace, if I find that creature on the throne of my father, before he gets chance for looking me over and asking, where did the stranger hail from, I'll strike. My answer to him will be straight to the point. Straight to the sword point. Guts on my skewer. The fury that squats in this clan's never famished, never gone short of its gore shots to guzzle. This third and last cup's to quaff undiluted. Electra, keep watch on what happens within so that the details all dovetail in neatly. Keep quiet where you can, or take care when talking. And Pylades, my companion, keep close to me. See I wield my sword well in the fight that's to follow.
What earth breathes is appalling. Monsters rock in the arms of the sea. Fearful sky flames flare and fall through terrible void territory.
Monsters, meteors, sea, soil, space, things that fly, creep, crawl. Of all these horrors, the human race is the terror that tops them all. Male, boasting, pride in being he, only one thing's got that beat. Bursting bed-bond bestially, the female bitch on heat.
The plot against your man-lord's life.
Clytemnestra, kill a wife!
Against the man his enemies reveres and all his spear foes justly fears.
You prized pilot heart instead.
A fearless seaman in your bed.
Lemnos,
Its very name is vile.
Clytemnestra should have been of that murderous and manless isle, the killer queen.
Queen of women, who wield knives or slaughtered husband's sword. The Lemnos husband killing wives.
Lemnos,
Name to be abhorred.
The sword point pricks against the skin, ready to be driven in.
Bloodright pushes at the hilt to broach the gory springs of guilt.
the transgressors, those who trod down the laws of Zeus High Peacock.
Bloodright's the whetstone where feet wets.
Slaves demanding old blood dead.
Bloodright leads the sun at last to purge the blood spills of past.
Gateman, can't you hear all this knocking? Anyone there? Gateman, is there no one on duty? This is the third time of knocking. Is nobody there? Are the good laws of guest right ignored by Aegisthus?
I hear you. Where you from, stranger?
Go tell your masters there's someone with tidings. And quick! The war car of night drives on the darkness. Time travelers were thinking about dropping anchor in a place that makes all wayfarers welcome. Fetch someone out in authority here. Fetch the mistress. No! Maybe the man would be fitter. With women, words have to be guarded and careful. But man to man, I can say what I mean, and no hedging.
stranger, all you've to do is declare what your need is,
Such a house can supply every kindness and comfort. Warm baths, beds that are balm to limbs worn by travel, honest eyes that watch over your wishes and wants. But if what you've come for is weightier counsel, that's work for the menfolk, and I'll see that you meet.
I am not from these parts, but from Daulis in Phokis. I was trekking to Argos, my gear in this backpack, when I meet with a stranger who asks where I'm off to. I tell him Argos, and when he hears that, this stranger, Strophius, a Phocian, that's who the man turns out to be, says to me, since you're in any case going to Argos, you could save me a journey and take me a message. A message concerning a man called Orestes. Announce to the parents in Argos the death of Orestes. Then ask if they want him fetched home, his ashes, or if he's to lie here in Phokis, forever an exile. A good bronze urn guards his ashes at present. His ashes got tears shed. The man got some mourning. I pass on his words as he spoke them, not knowing if whom I'm addressing's directly related. It seems proper to speak to a parent in person.
Your news brings the whole house down on our heads. Ungrappable blood grudge that bullies this blood clan, possessing the piercing sharp eye of the prey bird, takes aim from safe ambush to send it sharp, sharp home. You stripped me of mere ones, leaving me naked. And now Orestes, who seemed to tread surely, who kept clear of the clay this blood clan gets stuck in. He was the one hope we still held for this household, the balm we all banked on for the blood grudges' orgies. Orestes, our hope, must be crossed off the roll call.
With hosts such as you here, so favoured by fortune, I'd more gladly be a guest whose tidings were good ones. Between host and guest there's no goodwill greater. But the bonds that I've given both bind me to truth. My bond to Stropius, my guest bond as stranger.
Your words won't make you the less warmly welcomed. If you hadn't brought them, someone was bound to. It's time now that travellers who've spent the day trekking should cease feeling footsore and seek out their comforts. Take them to where the man guests get quartered, him and the man who's his travelling companion. Supply them with comforts this palace is famed for. Serve them in all things, or answer to me. Meanwhile, I'll convey your news to the clan chief, and along with all our true, loyal supporters, we'll hold a clan council and consider the case.
Loyal supporters of the true blood kin, when can we let our pent feelings out? When snatch out the galling gag of grief and give Orestes the victory shout?
She god high great mound, dumped on the lord of the seas. Send help up from underground, prosper these prayers and pleas.
Word guile gets things done, and ground god Hermes, who can throw dust in the eyes of everyone, pushes the blade in from below.
Seems our fake potion is working already. I see the old nurse of Orestes walking here weeping.
Melissa, where are you going to? To the gate yard with Woe the Unwanted One walking beside you.
Queen Clytemnestra says, quick, fetch Aegisthus to meet man to man with some strangers who come. Confront them in person and hear the new tidings. In front of the serfs, she faked grief on her features, but her eyes through the mask wore nothing like mourning. Nay, they blazed like joy beacons at what had befallen. The news that's been brought, the great bane for this blood clan, but for Aegisthus, a just cause for rejoicing. This household's caused me perpetual heartache. No bane to this blood clan ever beat this one. Death shook the house, and I shrugged. But now it's Orestes. My little Orestes, who I wore out my life for. Came straight off his mother and got clapped to my paps. Got these very breasts as a baby, Orestes. Trouble? That lad gave me trouble in ton loads. Led me a dance he did, demanding. Getting me up from my couch with his crying, and when I was with him, there was nothing he wanted. Like puppies, aren't they, though? Babies. Still in their nappies, what can they do? Nothing. While they lack language, they just keep you guessing. Is it hunger or thirst pangs or wanting to piddle? Their little bellies just do it regardless. You have to read minds. Keep one jump ahead. Or else you get caught with that crap to clean out. Wet nurse and washerwoman I was to Orestes. Had him entrusted by King Agamemnon. Now I hear that he's dead. My dear little baby. I'm off to Aegisthus, the bane of this blood clan. When he hears of the death, he'll be glad and delighted.
How is he to come?
Does she say how, the queen?
How? Don't know what you mean.
I mean, does she tell him to come armed or not?
Oh, armed and attended, his spearmen the lot.
Then tell him there's no need of his combatant gear.
Tell Aegisthus there's joy in what he's to hear. Tell him, come quickly, the man we all hate.
The messenger's mouth sets a twisted tail straight. Are you trying to tell me this news makes you glad?
Why not? If Zeus will drive good out of bad.
But Orestes, our one hope, he's gone, as you know.
Only a blind seer would say that was so.
What are you saying? Is there more to be known? The gods will do their work. You do your own.
I will.
I'm off with my message. I've no doubt the gods in their wisdom will sort it all out.
Chief of the god clan Zeus now send this house a balanced end.
Let the lovers of good law get the blood rights they've longed for. Let the man who's gone within meet with his enemies and win.
If you help him, your godstone will get more goats than it's ever known.
Now that he's nearly won his race, see he keeps up his winning pace.
Don't let him slacken off so late and falter halfway down the straight.
Let fresh blood flow now wash clean all the blood flow that has been. Apollo, healer, whose light even makes the deep dark cave a haven.
Let the beacon freedom blaze through the veils of murk and haze.
And when the deed is to be done, courage, when she called you son.
Shall but my fathers call his name, do the blood deed with no blame. Be like Perseus, one who slew a monster woman, and will you.
Those below the earth and those above want their blood grudge, not son's love.
Plunge your sword up to the hilt in the cause of this blood guilt.
Here I am with the messenger's son. I'm told certain strangers have brought baleful tide. News most unwelcome. The death of Orestes. These bags already rub raw by the burdens, and now it gets plagued by another sore pack. Go. Am I to take this as fact and as proven, or is it mere women's talk starting up panic? Words flying and burning themselves out for nothing. Who knows any more to make it all plainer?
We heard the same story as you, we're only women.
You don't need to listen to second-hand hearsay.
Go inside straight away and question the stranger.
Yes. I want to have the messenger question. If he himself witnessed the death of Orestes, or whether he is simply passing on rumors. I'm too open-eyed to be gulled or outsmarted.
Both blood blades are now drawn out for the final killing bout.
Either Clytemnestra's cleaver finishes the clan forever, or Agamemnon's sunken light to beacon freedom in black night. In the bloodbath 2 to 1.
Back up, Agamemnon's son!
Listen, who does that cry? The clan's in the balance.
Better we women withdraw till it's settled.
Whatever the outcome, we must seem to be blameless. One way or another, the battle's decided.
The master is killed! The master registers! Open the door to the women's apartment! A strong arm's needed, though he's past help registers. Help! Help! Everyone's deaf, there's no point in shouting, deaf or asleep. But where's Clytemnestra? Her head's the next one, due for the hack block. The axe shaft's poised in the clenched fist of Bloodright.
Who's that shouting for help in the palace?
The dead are hacking the living down.
The old Eagles, by no means, battling to me. They're to be killed by the same guile we're killed by. Give me my man axe, my king cleaver, quick! We'll put to the test who's victor, who's vanquished.
It's you I'm after. He's had enough, the one inside.
Dead! Dead! My shield, dear Aegisthus.
Your dear Aegisthus? Then into his grave bed. Continue your coupling as cold stiffened corpses. Carry on toppling under your tomb cairn.
Orestes, have pity. These breasts you nestled on,
And nuzzle the nipples for their nourishing milk.
Pylades, what shall I do? Shame, pity, awe, all make me shrink from killing my mother. Remember Apollo, and do what you swore. Give grudge to mankind, but not to the god clan. I remember Apollo. Your words win this bout. Inside! I want to kill you on top of his body, since you preferred him when alive to my father. Aegisthus greater than King Agamemnon. The one you should have showered love on, not hatred. Sleep beside your dear one, even in death.
I want to grow old with the sun these breasts fed.
My father's murderess eating my bread.
She got a fake son. She played her part.
The same she-god then drives my sword through your heart.
Your mother's blood grudges, don't they make you scared?
Mother! Would she throw a son out if she had cared?
Not thrown out, sent to an ally when Argos got hot.
Sold, a chief's son, a free man, and sold for what?
Yes, if I sold you, what was my pay?
Too shameful to think of, let alone say.
What of your father? What of his shame?
He suffered. You sat here. Spare him your blame.
A woman suffers with her man at the wars.
But his toil supports her while she sits indoors.
So you'll condemn me, your mother, to die?
Your own actions condemn you, Mother. Not I.
Your mother's blood grudges like dogs. They'll hunt you.
I'm hunted by my fathers. So what can I do?
Death is the grave hole. My son pays no heed.
When my father was murdered, you started to bleed.
You were the snake, crawled out of my womb.
Your nightmare was true. It showed you your tomb. You killed my father. I kill my mother. One blood wrong gives birth to another.
I can spare some pity for this fallen couple, but better arrest these serfs over this blood crest than the eye of the blood clan is shuttered forever.
Time brings blood right to blast Troy. Agamemnon's house next call. 2 lions enter and destroy the house.
The third storm blast to buffet this blood clan.
1, the banquet of babes, the bane of Thyestes.
2, the Achaean warlord hacked down in his bathrobe.
3, the deliverer, or new doom in disguise.
When will the blood grudge be weaned off blood? When will it sleep? The fiend